Well, hello there trainers, greetings, Kuroblitz here, welcome back to another video. So, it's been a while since I've recorded, and this is totally unscripted as per usual. I just want to, show some projects that I have, down the line. And this is something that I always wanted to, create to an extent, because there's a lot of, Pokemon YouTubers that always do this. And it's, the whole idea of what if Ash woke up on time. And I want to give my own little twist to it. And also about, the formula on how I want to do this hypothetical story. For today's video, I'm going to, focus a lot on the KANTO story. And if this, gets some traction, maybe I'll do Johto and so on and so forward. And it will be like, something like once a month. If anything, maybe, I don't know. All I know is that the story that I have, it's basically around 105 episodes, so it's 13 episodes less since from KANTO and Orange Islands, because I decided to give some best wishes vibes to this KANTO story to basically make KANTO, but make KANTO better. In terms of the episode structure, I decided to do 7 arcs of 15 episodes, and their story structure goes with 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 4. Now, in regards to the whole idea, let's get started, shall we? So, when it comes to Ash waking up early, this doesn't mean that he wakes up early when he goes to Oak's lab at the age of 10. But yes, given that, Journeys gave us a lot of more context on the backstory, I'm thinking about, Ash waking up early, but when he was 6 to go to Oak's summer camp. So he actually wakes up on time for that day, and he meets Go and Koharu in that timeline, and he also leads him to Mew, and he also meets Pichu that becomes Pikachu. Maybe Pikachu becomes, his mother, or runs away to, another trainer, only time shall tell. But maybe it becomes his mother's pet, if anything, and maybe it would prompt Pikachu to be his starter, but I would like to think Pikachu just runs away. But I do like, the concept that Ash waking up on time, it's not waking up on time at the age of 10, but yes, at the age of, 6, right? And because of that, he sees Mew, and because he sees Mew and Miyamoto, Jesse's mom, he sees a lot of potential in Mew and all of what the Psychic Cat can do, and basically this whole activity, it's that Ash is very interested in Psychic-type Pokemons, or even Pokemon that can use Psychic attacks. So all of those what-if scenarios of Ash being an expert of a specific type or having a specific trainer class. I want to do kinda that, the Ash waking up on time kinda makes Ash, a Esper or a Psychic-Ear or something around those lines. And because of that, he's going to, start in Pallet Town. And because he's going to start in Pallet Town, he will meet Go and Koharu, who are also going to start their own journey in Pallet Town, right? But because of that, there's going to be some little differences here. This means that, just like how Ash in the other timeline, the movie's timeline, he had Verity and Sorrel, he's going to have Go and Koharu in this timeline, but he's also going to have Janine, that being Koga's daughter. She's going to fill the role of Misty on being a type expert as well, right? And she's going to be a poison type expert. In regards of the roster of the Pokemon, I'm going to say it around, this entirety of the video, and I'm going to show the roster at the butt end of the video. But for all intents and purposes, Pikachu just ran away to another trainer, or it's with Delia. It's up for your interpretation, because in this timeline, Ash is going to have an Eevee, and because of that, he promises Go and Koharu that, he's going to meet them in the future, right? And they are going to choose their Pokemon together with, Go is going to get, Charmeleon, I believe. Charmander, I believe, and Koharu is going to get Squirtle, so let me double check on that. I know that Gary in this timeline gets Bulbasaur, and down the line, Janine will also get her own Bulbasaur. So, let's see. For Go's Pokemon, because I actually need to, read the script again. Yeah, Go gets Charmander, it becomes a Charmeleon, and Koharu gets Squirtle, becomes War Turtle, and Janine gets an Bulbasaur, I'm sorry, it becomes a Venusaur, but an Ivysaur, I'm sorry, but the Venusaur will be, you know, Gary. So no one will really have Blastoise or Charizard for the time being. But you know, with all of the episodes, we're going to have 2 intro episodes. The 223, 224, it's going to be Introduction, Viridian Forest, the Companions, the Pewter Gym, Mount Moon, and the Nugget Bridge. This is going to be arc number 1 out of the 7. In the introduction, the crew is going to meet Eevee and are going to save the Viridian Center from, you know, Team Rocket, Jesse, James, and Meowth. In the Viridian Forest, the 2 episodes are going to be Ash getting Caterpie and Ash and everyone battling, you know, Janine's Bulbasaur, because Janine is going to only debut in episode 4, just like how Samurai, but she's going to, you know, join the crew. So that's basically about it. And the 3 companions, we are going to have, you know, both Go and Koharu are going to get a Poliwag, and not a Poliwag, sorry, a Nidoran. They're going to get a female and a male Nidoran, and Ash will be the one to get a Poliwag before the Pewter Gym, and they are going to the Museum of Pewter with Eevee, with Ash's Eevee. And then the 2 episodes of the Pewter Gym, it's going to be, you know, the first, we are going to see we're going to see Gary versus Brock first. It's very important because Bulbasaur and Ivysaur, it's going to, you know, sweep everything. And then the other episode, it's, you know, actually Ash versus Brock. And then, you know, his Caterpie that became a Metapod will now become a Butterfree and win because of confusion. Once again, Psychic, and Poliwag knows Hypnosis, so it's another Psychic move. Then it's 2 episodes in Mount Silver with the Clefairy episode, and the Fossil episode, and Cassidy and Butch are going to debut in this 2-parter in the Mount Moon. And then last but not least, we are going to get, you know, a Nugget Bridge, and there are going to be episodes about, you know, trying to get an Abra who knows Teleport, and that Abra, it's going to become Ashes, and later on evolve into a Kadabra, but not an Alakazam. And we are going to get episodes for, you know, rivals, that being, you know, Leaf, Gary, but also Bill from the Cottage and Lighthouse and whatever more. And then we get, you know, we also get, you know, the second arc. It's 2 episodes in Cerulean Gym, that being, you know, the introduction of Richie battling Misty, and then it's Ash battling Misty, where Kadabra draws ties with, you know, Starmie. And then it's 2 episodes in the Underground, where both Nidoran evolve, and then we have a Cross episode. And then it's episodes for the companions, where it's Go against Sorrel, Koharu against Verity, because they are going to debut in this timeline, and then Ash's Poliwag is going to become a Poliwhirl, just like Red in the manga, right? It's Satoshi Tajiri's favorite Pokemon. Then we get, you know, 2 episodes of the SSN with the Rocket Raid, and then Janine is going to reveal her Venonat and also her Tentacool, and Koharu's Rattata, it's going to, you know, become Eradicate, because that's something that I didn't told, but Koharu is going to have Rattata, right? Just like how Yellow had her Rattata as her starter. It's going to be, you know, her Drillbur Excadrill, and for Go it's going to be Cubone Marowak. So they are going to ballot at the age of 10 to get, you know, the starters of Oak, but they already have their own Pokemon, that being, you know, the Rattata becomes Eradicate, and Go's Cubone, it's going to soon become a Marowak. So they are Yellow and Trace in some way. And then, you know, they return to Vermilion, you know, their hometown, and they talk, you know, with Professor Sakuragi and whatever more, because we have, you know, Ash versus Surge, the first battle, and then the rematch, right? And, you know, it's not going to be Pikachu versus Raichu, but, you know, Eevee is going to learn Dig, and that's going to be extremely instrumental, because, you know, Kadabra cannot really do much as of now, and Butterfree and Poliwhirl are weak. And then they go to Lavender Tower, and that's a 4-parter, and this is where we're going to start to have, you know, the Don George tournaments, right? We are going to get Don George tournaments in Kanto, but they are going to have a different name. I'm going to call them, you know, Elite tournaments for the time's sake. And all of these Elite tournaments is basically, you know, all of the rounds, right? You know, the top 16 and whatever more, and the winner, it's going to battle a member of the Elite Four, like how in the Junior Cup of Best Wishes, the winner was able to, you know, battle Alder. And in every, you know, vicinity of these, you know, tournaments, they are going to battle every Elite Four in a different battlefield. In Lavender Tower, it's going to be Agatha, the winner will have to face, and it's going to be, you know, in the grass battlefield. Bruno will be in the rock, Lance in the water, and Lorelei in the ice. And those battlefields are going to be used in the league, and the Elite Fours are going to be the referees for those preliminary battlefields. Because one thing that I always hated in the anime was that the Elite Fours are not the referees. Alola fixed that with the kahunas, and I'm so proud. But yeah, these are going to be, Arc 2. Alright, so now for Act 3, 2 episodes in Celadon Gym, the University in Erica, because, Ash is Eevee, and 2 episodes in Celadon Corner, where Go will get his Marowak, Cubone will evolve, and we'll get another Leaf episode. 3 companion episodes again, we're going to focus on, Janine getting her Ivysaur, Koharu getting a Vulpix, and Go getting Psyduck, because that's how, Go will feel, the Brock roll and Koharu the Misty roll, but they are going to get the other Pokemon in a way. And then we go to Saffron, where we have a Silphco 2-parter with the Rocket Raid because of the prototype Zapmalkuno, because I really want prototype Zapmalkuno, and they have the fossils, so they are trying to make a Zapmalkuno with the DNA of an Aerodactyl, and because of that, there's a rampaging fossil of Aerodactyl like the one in movie 5, and Janine will have her Zubat become a Golbat, and that's going to be extremely awesome. And then we go to the Saffron Gym against, Sabrina, and we see Richi's Lapras, and then the other, because of the Silph Corporation, because Rich will be the one to get Lapras, because, Ash will not go to the Orange Island, so Lapras has to go to someone. It's going to be Richie, because Richie is more predominant than earlier here, and Ash is going to get Mimey, but Mimey, it's not going to be a permanent member of Ash's team, because, it's going to spend a lot of time with Ash's mother as well. But, Mimey, it's going to be a very important Pokemon, because, it's going to battle, Sabrina, and we're going to have a Kadabra versus Alakazam duel, and that's going to be the Pikachu-Raichu Electric Shock Showdown. There is no Haunter shenanigans in this timeline. And we end with another 4-parter for the 3rd arc, and that's, another battle tournament. It's hosted by Bruno, right, of the Elite Four, in a rock battlefield, and that's going to, be for the Saffron Dojo. And just like that, we have 45 episodes of this hypothetical anime already. It's amazing, right? Anyways, let's continue on to Arc 4 until episode 60. And we have 2 episodes in Green G City, the power plant thingamajig, where, Janine is the one that gets Smuck. And because of the pollution of the area, Jesse, James, and Meowth are going to be the ones to, evolve Ekans and Koffing in this predicament and not in Diglett's tunnel. And then we go to the actual power plant, where we have a Zapdos crisis, where Surge and Viscez, yes, Viscez is in this timeline, are going to battle Butch and Cassidy to protect Zapdos from the power plant. And, imagine these 2-parters like the Rocket 2-parters, with the Kami Trio, or the Caracosta, or the Subway, and, imagine Best Wishes Team Rocket, but already in early Kanto, right? I'm tackling a lot of, plots from the games too, with some nods to the manga as well. Anyways, this is how you should make Kanto better, adapt the game plot, right? And we also see Gary trying to help and whatever more, because, he's the rival, right? And continuing on, always with, the companion episodes, right? So there's that. And we are going to have, the Hitmon episode with, Koharu gets Hitmonlee and Go gets Hitmonchan. Koharu will evolve her Squirtle to War Turtle, and then Go evolves Charmander to Charmeleon, and they stick around as such. And then we have the Cycling Road episode, and at the Cycling Road, Jessie gets Lickitung, and James will get the Tangela, because I don't like the idea of, James having Victory Bell. I know it's very iconic, but, there is no need, because I already saw Vileplume and Victory Bell against, Erica. So James gets Tangela, because Lickitung and Tangela, they need rock attacks to evolve into Licky and, Tangrowth in Gen 4, so there's, even Tangela can harm James with the Vine Whips and whatever hell. And then, we go to Fuchsia Gym for 2 more episodes, and Janine will battle Aya, so it's going to battle her aunt, right, Koga's sister, and then the other episode is Ash versus Koga. And since they are already in Fuchsia, the other 4-parter, it's going to be, for a battle tournament hosted by Lance in the water fields of the Safari Zone. So this is where Ash and everyone else is going to, meet Lance for the time being, right? And then we have 2 more episodes, because we do go, to the Silence Bridge, where we see Richie getting Snorlax, and, Ash is going to get a Gengar because, you know, they need, the Pokeflute is not working, so they need Gengar's Dream Eater to try to, you know, awaken Snorlax in a way, and they are going back to Lavender because, you know, the boats to, you know, Cinnabar aren't around as of yet. It's basically, you know, a homage to how Ash got the Fuchsia badge in episode 32. It took him like half a year. He was rounding in circles, right? So there's that. I just think, you know, it's super funny to go with this route as well. But yeah, you know, because that way Richie gets the stationary Pokemon, right? Lapras, Snorlax, and they are Pokemon that can learn psychic attacks as well. And, you know, yeah, that's basically Ash's team. It's Eevee, Kadabra, Gengar, Butterfree, Poliwhirl, that will become a Poliwrath later on, and then Mr. Mime. So there's a lot of diversity here as of now. But I'll get to that when I'll get to that. So, yeah, we just see, you know, they stop the Snorlax from blocking the road. And then we have, you know, 2 Seafoam Islands episodes where there's the Articuno crisis, because we already, you know, got one for Zapdos, so Butch and Cassidy go again, right? And then we have, you know, 3 episodes of, you know, Ash battling Gary. It's going to be, you know, because Ash and Gary, they met a lot, but they didn't battle in the original anime. I want that to some extent here because they battled in 3 tournaments already, right? The Agatha, the Bruno, and the Lance one. There's going to be a Lorelei one, but, you know, they don't know if the brackets are going to be at their favor, so they prefer to have their battle now. So imagine Ash versus Paul in Lake Acuity, but it's Ash versus Gary in Cinnabar Island. They are in Cinnabar Island, like in the original, but they actually do battle, and it's a nice nod to how Gary in the games, or Blue Oak, he's the one that goes to Cinnabar telling you the volcano erupted, I have a gym now, and even in the remakes the guy gives you Trick Room, right? That is also a psychic type attack. So Ash met Mew in this timeline, so he's more interested in psychic Pokemon. And Go and Koharu, they are just, you know, they are around, but they, you know, they do their research on paper. And also imagine, like, you know, a novelist, Koharu being a novelist, because she sees the abnormalities of the Pokemon world, so she writes everything down. So does Go, but more for a journalistic approach, because they are researchers and explorers. Imagine if they were Indiana Jones and Lara Croft of the Pokemon world, and, you know, Ash is Nathan Drake. They are all explorers. And Janine's like Dora, right? Janine is just there for the ride, but, you know, she does a better job than Misty ever did. At least with her poison Pokemon, that is. But, you know, enough sidetracking, and then 2 more episodes in Cinnabar Island. It's the Pokemon Mansion because of the Fuji backstory, and they see a Waterstone of Poliwrath, and, you know, Ash versus Blaine, right? The first battle and the rematch are the other 2 episodes, and, you know, it's going to be like that. And then we have, you know, the Cinnabar Labs, right, in the games where you revive the fossils. Those are going to be the ones to host the final Elite Tournament. And the winner, it's going to have the privilege to battle with Lorelei. And Misty comes around for this one, right? Misty comes around for this one, and she wins, and she battles Lorelei. But, you know, just like how Trip lost to Alder, she's going to lose to Lorelei. And it's very important because, you know, Misty doesn't travel with Ash, but in this timeline, because her sisters, they had better trainers to battle them, so they are more focused on their job. Misty is kind of like a rival to Ash in this timeline, but very sporadically, like how Leaf is for Go and Koharu. We have, you know, a lot of sporadic rivals in this timeline. The ones from I Choose You, Verity, Sorrel, and Cross, they participated in tournaments just like how Georgia, Burgundy, and Bianca, and Stefan, and Luke, and whoever more did, right? So it's important to note that. So yeah, we finish the arc 5 of this, you know, what if scenario. So episode 75, this is where the Indigo League would start in the normal anime, but this isn't the normal anime, this is way better. And now we have 2 Team Rocket episodes, and with Team Rocket episodes, we get, you know, Jesse's episode with her mom, and we get a James episode with his dog, Growly, right? And then we have 2 more episodes in Palette. That's the Daisy Oak episode, because I'm going to introduce Gary's sister here, because I already introduced Bill, so I'm going to introduce that dynamic, right? And she's going to tell about Pokemon migration and all of the patterns that she saw in the Sevi Islands and in the Orange Islands, because she went to those insular sub-regions to study Pokemon migration because of the Cantonian birds and whatever more. And she's going to tell about Lugia, she's going to tell them about Johto, so the seeds of Johto are planted here because of Daisy Oak, right? And then, you know, 3 more companion episodes. It's going to be the mini arc with Thought Snap because of, you know, Mew and whatever more, right? Because Mew sightings are happening in Palette again, so Oak called Thought Snap to try to get photographies, and Go, Koharu, Janine, and Ash are going to try to help Todd in this predicament. And the Victory Road, the Victory Road is basically on fire because of a Moltres scenario for 2 more episodes, right? And they have the feathers of Moltres, and they are trying to, you know, revive everything, and Team Rocket goes back to the Viridian Gym for 2 episodes, and then we have Giovanni versus Gary, and then we have Giovanni versus Ash. Those are the 2 episodes, and they are the ones to get, you know, the Earth Badge, you know, the little feather, right? So the Zapmolkuno plan goes, it doesn't happen anymore, because the Rocket finale, it's like in the movie, it's Mewtwo returns, and Mew helps everyone, and that's how episode 90 of, you know, this Indigo League series ends. So that's how it ends Arc 6. Yeah, Arc 6. So 2 more episodes, 15, I'm sorry. So the next 2 episodes for Arc 7, the final ones, it's, you know, Ash battling a random tamer. And because, you know, Beast Tamer, like, imagine it's AJ or someone with other Pokemon, you can see some NPC from Stadium and get their teams there, right? So Ash battles this random tamer, and then, you know, it's his battle against Misty, right? But before that, let me just, you know, get my teams here. Oh, okay, this is perfect. I'm sorry, I was still, you know, in the Zapmolkuno mindset. So, Ghost team, as you can see, it's Marowak, Nidorino, Charmeleon, Psyduck, and Hitmonchan. Koharu's team is Raticate, Nidorino, Wartortle, Vulpix, and Hitmonlee. Janine's team is Venomoth, Tentacruel, Ivysaur, Golbat, and Muk. Ash's, it's Eevee, Kadabra, Mimey, Butterfree, Poliwrath, and Gengar. And during this arc, they have a little future sight moment where they see a creature that they know as Espeon battling, you know, Mewtwo. So Psychic Feline against Psychic Feline. And they see this happening in what it is, you know, Cerulean Cave, but they didn't went to the Cerulean Cave here. And they have no idea who this Espeon is. They don't even know how Ash's Eevee could become such psychic Pokemon, but it is what it is, right? And then, you know, Ash battles Tamer number 1, and then, you know, he battles Misty. Misty has Vaporeon, Dewgong, and Gyarados, right? And then, you know, as you might have saw in another thing back there, right? Because of Annabelle will be the one to have Pikachu in this timeline, and she's going to have Pikachu because of, you know, Pikachu, Vileplume, and Pidgeot, so she's going to have Trace's Pokemon as well. And then we get 3 companions. It's you know, the cameo of Duplica, the cameo of Giselle, and then, you know, Jigglypuff having a little debacle with the Togepi egg, because those plots are a priori in the saga. I just didn't talk because I really didn't care much to talk yet. And then it's the battle against Richie, 2 episodes, and Richie's Pokemon are all Pokemon that know Psychic. It's Lapras, Electabuzz, Magmar, Snorlax, Hypno, and Tyranitar. No, sorry. Lapras, Electabuzz, Magmar, Snorlax, and Hypno, and then it's Tyranitar. Because it's Dark type, so it cancels out all the Psychics. It's from Mount Silver, so it prompts Ash to go to Johto even more. And Ash loses to Richie in the top 16 still, but at least he loses with honor, respect, and dignity in a 6v6 and not in that humiliating 3v3. And then, you know, something happens and Matori debuts because Giovanni is amiss, and something happens in the Cerulean cave. And they go there and Ash's Espeon bathes in sunlight because of a crater in the cave and becomes, you know, Espeon, right? Eevee becomes Espeon. And all of Ash's Pokemon help, you know, to defeat Matori and save Mewtwo and let Mewtwo be in the cave. And then Ash's Pokemon are super tired, they rest at home, right? And because, you know, they rest at home, he meets with Gary, and Gary apparently now has an Umbreon, he wants to go to Johto. So Ash goes to Johto too, and then we have, you know, some Johto episodes. It's going to be the final arc of Kanto. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be, you know, until episode 105 of this hypothetical. It's the Tojo Falls arc, where we listen to the GS ball that Ash has to deliver. We hear about, you know, Janine's Golbat becomes a Crobat, and because of that, she now becomes, you know, the new gym leader of, you know, Fuchsia. Go and Koharu go to Vermilion for a little bit, but they promise to reunite with Ash later. Ash will go to Annabelle's tower because of Pikachu, and she's going to give Ash a Pichu egg, and that Pichu is going to have Eden Power Psychic as a link to the unknown. So Ash will just go to Johto all alone, and I want for you guys to decide the future, because, you know, I don't know how to continue this on. And then, you know, in the end of the series, Go will have a Charizard that he flies around, and Koharu will have a Blastoise that surfs around, and Gary's now the gym leader with Venusaur, and Janine with her Crobat. Because, you know, Go and Koharu, they wanted the Fire and Water starter because you need Fire and Water for survival skills, right? So Ash goes to Johto with an Espeon and a Pichu. His Kantomons are with his mom. He basically, you know, continues his journey. His companions, they go their own way to become researchers and gym leaders. Their rivals, they will continue on to try to better themselves and participate in more of these tournaments. Because if you win the 4 elite tournaments, you don't need to participate in gyms. It's like, you know, that Indigo League exam. That's why these tournaments hosted by the Elite 4 are very important. If anyone wins all of these 4 tournaments, that's how they get, you know, it's an alternative to go to the league. Besides the 8 gyms. If you get the elite if you get 4 elite medals, you don't need the 8 badges. That's how Misty in this timeline goes. Because she's a gym leader, she cannot participate in gyms because of, you know, connections and nepotism, so she needs to battle these, and that's how she battles Lorelei. There is a lot of, you know, that I have in the back burner, guys, really. But I know this is totally unscripted, I'm just reading my notes, but this is, you know, my idea of what I would like to see if Ash woke up on time at the age of 6. So make sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. This was awesome. I really appreciate your support. I will try to continue on to keep myself motivated to, you know, share all of this, you know, greatness with you. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of things that I'm not, you know, remembering as of now, and I'm very sorry for stalling and whatever more. But, you know, this is just my idea for a better Kanto. So thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. See you in the next time, trainers.